He's never been in front in this final against the world #1 until this very last frame. He's had a tremendous week. He'll win some more Masters, but for the present, he's the 1998 Benson Hedges Masters champion by 10 frames to 9. What a fabulous match we've seen.
It's impossible to know what to say after a final like that. Please, would you welcome our presentation party, escorted by the Benson Hedges hostesses, the tournament director, Jim Elkins, the sales and marketing director of Benson Hedges, Nigel Northridge, the president of the WPBSA, Lord Archer. The first presentation is the High Break Prize, and the standard was set on Sunday morning, over a week ago, when Andy Hicks hit a 142. He isn't here with us this evening. He will get £16,000 and a gold award. Your acclaimed prize for the High Break for 1998, Andy Hicks.
Andy Hicks 142, the third highest break in the history of the Masters in 24 years. First match.
There's never been a final quite like it here, and you can't have a final like that without two wonderful players. So please, the runner-up, Stephen Hendry.
It'll be a small consolation. It's the 5th final he's lost this season. Now then, the man.
For Stephen, a magnum of champagne and £75,000. Now, a Jeroboam of champagne, £145,000. And of course, the Benson Hedges Masters Trophy for Mark Williams.
His moment, the first Welshman in 18 years to win the Masters, following in the footsteps of the great Ray Reardon, Terry Griffiths and Doug Mudgett. He won it on a re-spotted black. It was worth £75,000. Ray Reardon lost the first ever Masters in '75 on a respot.
It's 18 years. It's 18 years since we've been able to say to a Welshman a few words from our champion. Mark.
Well, he's not going to say a word. I wouldn't have thought he'd be lost for words. John Parrott, you lost for words as well.
I've seen my palms are absolutely soaking. It's terrible to watch. I've seen some great snooker finals in my time, but that ranks with one of the best I've ever seen.
You've played in 3 here at Wembley.
There was never anything like that. I mean, I couldn't have stood. I'd have keeled over before it got to the end of that. That was absolutely fabulous.
I mean, you know, you'd think somebody was writing a novel and a script here, wouldn't you? I mean, to do that, to come back, to go to the last frame, and then after 24 years, we get another respot black to finish it.
Yeah, nobody comes out of that with anything other than credit, and Stephen Hendry, marvellous performance all week. But Mark Williams, I mean, to come from 9-6 behind to beat the world #1 was a fantastic performance. And he actually showed more composure in the end of that match than he did in the semi-final.
So Stephen Hendry leaves Wembley, now just wants the champion in 5 years, but came here with not a good record. He was hoping to get it back, but this is the man who stopped him at the last ditch on one ball that was worth £75,000, worth a lot more to Mark Williams, to pot it and become the master in this great company when he was, without any doubt, the underdog here. He said his legs turned to jelly when he beat Steve Davis. What on earth was it like for him tonight? But he held it all together. Wembley, in front of the biggest crowd in snooker, and he's produced the victory. I was saying, John, I mean, he came here as the underdog, definitely, in terms of this final. We know he's a great player. He's a world number 4, and he'd beaten Hendry in that British Open, 9-2. But this is a totally different game.
Yeah, and Stephen, there's no doubt about it. Stephen in the other final where he won 9-2 was shattered. You know, there's no, and he was on obviously in a lot better form today. Mark Williams' performance is up with anything he's produced as a professional. He'll be delighted with it. And the big thing about Mark is he is a big tournament winner. He's not frightened to win.
We've talked, I mean, all this week, we talked ever since last year about the Steve Davis, Ronnie O'Sullivan. That was a different kind of final. That was an emotional, wasn't it? The old man, with every respect to Steve, coming back against Ronnie, who was in his 3rd final, having once been the champion. Yeah,
a difference altogether, but an absolutely unbelievable final. I mean, so much credit goes to him. His test of character that he had there, from being behind, was as big as he's ever faced in his professional career, and to come through that, you know, with shining colours was magnificent.
He had to go through a very difficult afternoon, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, there's chances either way. I mean, I think to go 5-3 was a pleasing aspect of it. It was looking 6-2 for quite a bit, and then to come out 5-3 was great. But you know, he'd only won 4 out of 5 frames. It was nip and tuck, and then Stephen went ahead. When really, you know, he sort of pounced on there where Mark made 44 and had a foul off the touching ball. And then Mark came back, and as I say, his fortitude and his application was marvellous.
If you can hear some rattling, it's a famous gold trophy. And the man who's picked it in,
brought
in here, Mark Williams. Mark,
well done.
Fantastic.
Right, thanks.
Well done. Oh. Any chance of saying a word?
What do you want me to say?
The day of your life, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was the interval to go 5-3, I won a crucial game, eh?
Yeah.
I think if it went 6-2, you know, there's not many people can come back. But I just thought, keep my head down, because I didn't play that well this afternoon. I just kept my head down, and I won a nice, easy game in the last.
I mean, John and I've been jotting shots and frames, and that one, we run out of paper here. I mean, there was a 16th frame, was absolutely quite remarkable. Then you come down to this. I mean, the whole of this Masters began with John Spencer and Ray Reardon on a respot black. I mean, beyond your wildest dreams, surely. But your nightmares to face that pressure.
Yeah, actually, I wasn't. The last frame, I took a red on in the middle, and I potted it. And I mean, I wasn't nervous at all, to be honest.
So the legs weren't turning into jelly like they were before?
No, like when I played yesterday, I was all over the shop. But and I started off like that today, but tonight to come out, I thought just try and slow down a little bit, and potted a few.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I just wonder what you were thinking when you're in that respot black sequence, one ball become the master, and Stephen Hendry had this chance. Wasn't easy by any means. I think it's easy. Never there.
Enjoyed that.
You enjoyed it? I mean, were you thinking, sitting in the chair, he's going to get this one, surely?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was dead straight, so I think he was worried about it hitting it too hard and rolling it off. But I think he's played it slow, and I think he's just gone with the nap, or maybe put a little bit of side on it, but I think the naps just took it. But yeah, I thought he was going to get it. I was sat in my chair, and I thought, well, it was a good match, never mind. Yeah,
but then you put it down, and you won't know what happened here. Relive this. The moment you won the Masters, watch this.
Went a bit mad there, didn't I?
Little Welsh jig. Oh. You deserve it. You could have danced on the table. Out goes the hand.
Never thought of that.
Yes. Wow. Reardon, Griffiths, Mountjoy, Williams. Not bad.
Yeah, tidy.
Tidy. Anyway, I'm going to let you sit back and save it all, take the trophy, and there's a little matter of a cheque for £145,000, which...
You can have the trophy if you want.
I'll have the trophy.
I'll just keep the cheque.
I'd love to get my hands on that, I can tell you, but extremely well done. Not just for winning, but it's provided everybody watching here live on BBC one of the great finals, not just in the Masters, one of all time, and you won it. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Mark Williams, then, is the master in this 24th year. We've got a little bit of a break. We'll need one to recover from that before we go off to the famous Crucible Theatre in Sheffield for the famous 17 days where Ken Doherty will be defending the world title he won in style against Stephen Hendry. We keep talking him as a beaten finalist, but I don't think it will be long. He will be back without any shadow of a doubt. He's still the world's #1, Ken Doherty, the world champion. That's it. Hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have. These days here that began on Sunday at Wembley, providing us great matches, last-ditch finishes, but could you have dreamt of a finish like this? We didn't. After all the business, down to one black, Mark Williams sank it. Good night.